This technique works like magic. Start using it today and your life will change in unimaginable ways. Instant manifestations will become an everyday thing for you. What's up, superheroes? Welcome back to my channel, the place where we make the impossible possible. If you're new here, hi. I'm Scarlett Grace, I'm a manifestation coach, and I help people break through their limitations and manifest their heart's desires. In this video, I'm going to share with you an amazing technique that will completely transform your life. Anything you know about manifesting will work 10 times better if you use this technique. If you have a resistance that doesn't allow your desire to manifest, it will be eliminated. If you have past negative experiences or trauma standing in the way, not allowing you to embody the state of the wish fulfilled so that your desire can manifest, it will be eliminated. You will even start getting instant manifestations in front of your very eyes more and more until it becomes a daily thing, until you see instant manifestations happen every single day for you. I'm telling you, this technique is amazing. It comes straight from Neville Goddard and it's ridiculously simple to do. It's so simple, in fact, that most people who read Neville Goddard's lectures and books completely miss it. But after watching this video, you will know all about it and you can start using it immediately. Before we jump into this, if you want to learn how to manifest any desire fast to the law of assumption and Neville Goddard's teachings, then start now by hitting the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you won't miss any video that could change your life. I also have several self-study courses to help you manifest, including a 21-day course on how to manifest your specific person. And if you need some extra help and my personal advice for your situation, coaching is now open. You can find the links for all of those things in the description below. Now let's talk about the technique that will completely transform your results with the law of assumption. If you have a desire and you have been using the law of assumption to manifest it for a while now and it hasn't fully happened, this is because you have some kind of resistance around that desire. That usually looks like you getting triggered a lot by things in your physical reality. So we all know that in order to manifest what you want, you need to ignore physical reality because circumstances don't actually mean anything when it comes to manifesting. Those circumstances that seem to be against your desire are things that you created subconsciously based on old beliefs, old stories that you told yourself, so they don't actually mean anything. You can change them. You don't even need to resolve situations. You just need to keep imagining what you want as if you already have it. And the circumstances will realign to give you what you want. The problem for most people is that they get triggered a lot by things in their physical reality. And even if they know that this is not something they need to do anything about, they get sucked into this whirlwind of negative thoughts, negative scenarios, negative narratives that keeps playing in their minds. This is why the manifestations that are important to you can take a longer time to manifest, or manifestations when you have a deadline for them can fail to manifest. It is not because those things are difficult to manifest, it's because you get triggered a lot and you get a lot of resistance around those desires, the things that you need to manifest fast and the things that are the most important to you. The technique that I'm going to share with you in this video will break that illusion completely and allow you to manifest anything easily as if life is a game, because life is a game. Now let's get into this technique and how it actually works. Ready? Let's go. So, Neville Goddard says that reality is like a dream. I want you to think of what happens when you're dreaming. When you're dreaming, you don't realize it's a dream. You are in a scenario. It may be a normal scenario like a day at the office, or it may be something completely absurd. Like you're at the mall and you're being chased by a neon pink polka-dotted dinosaur in high heels and a Gucci bag. Now, no matter how normal or how insane the dream narrative is, while you're dreaming, this all makes sense to you. You think that it's real. It doesn't matter that there are no dinosaurs nowadays. It doesn't matter that there are no neon pink polka-dotted dinosaurs. It doesn't matter that it's absurd to think that a dinosaur would be in high heels or carrying a Gucci bag. While you're dreaming, this makes sense to you. You think that this is real. And only when you wake up in the morning, you realize that, hey, this was just a dream. And it doesn't mean anything. It was just a dream, something that my imagination created. Neville Goddard says that this is how reality works. So what you consider as real, your physical reality, your waking reality, is the same as a dream. Because both things get created by your imagination. Your nighttime dreams get created by your subconscious mind. Your physical reality, your waking reality, is also created by your subconscious mind, by what you imagine, by what you believe, by what narrative, what story you tell yourself. So basically, they're both very persistent illusions. Now, pay close attention. During your nighttime dreams, if you're not aware that you're dreaming, you think that everything in the dream is real, but there is a skill called lucid dreaming that many people train themselves to do that allows you to realize that this is a dream while you're inside the dream. So you don't have to wake up first to realize that this was a dream. While you're dreaming, while that neon pink polka dotted dinosaur in high heels is chasing you, you suddenly realize that, hey, I'm inside the dream. And when you realize, while you're dreaming, while you are inside a dream, that this is a dream, the dream narrative breaks. That means that whatever was happening up until that point, it doesn't have to keep happening. You can take that dream and shape it into whatever you want. You can decide that the dinosaur changes color. You can reverse the roles and be the one chasing the dinosaur. Or you can imagine that there is a door, and when you open the door, you are going to find yourself at the beach, and the dinosaur will not follow you. No matter how scary the dream used to be up until that point, the moment you realize that this is a dream, you understand that it's all an illusion. You don't have to be afraid anymore, and you can shape it into whatever you want. Remember though what Neville said? Neville said, physical reality, your waking reality, is also like a dream. If you realize that this is a dream, while you're living physical reality, any narrative that has been going on breaks. So that includes any circumstances, any problems, anything your specific person may have said that you don't like, anybody who said no to you when you wanted something from them. That narrative breaks because it's like the dream narrative with a dinosaur. You realize that this doesn't have to keep happening. It only felt real because you thought it was real. What we're going to do is we're going to use a technique that's similar to the ones people use to become lucid in their nighttime dreams, so that you can become lucid in your physical reality whenever you need it. So that circumstances will not matter to you anymore. So that anything that triggers you, it'll only last a few seconds at best, and then you will realize that it's a dream and it will have no power over you. One of the most common techniques to train yourself to become lucid in your nighttime dreams is to do several reality checks every day for a while. Here's how this works. You choose something that you do a lot during the day, like going through doorways or turning the lights on and off. Every time you take that action, you ask yourself, am I awake or am I dreaming? And you keep doing this. The logic is that if you keep doing this every day, after a few days or a few weeks, you will start asking that question automatically, to the point that you will ask that question when you take the same action inside the dream. So let's say that you chose going through doorways as the thing that whenever you do it during your waking life, you ask yourself if you're awake or you're dreaming. If you do this for a couple of weeks, eventually in one of your dreams, you will go through a doorway. And you will automatically ask that question to yourself. And even though up until now, when you ask that question, the answer was, I'm awake, for the first time, the answer will be, you're dreaming. When the answer inside the dream is you're actually dreaming, then the dream narrative breaks and you can shape the dream into whatever you want. This is a great technique to learn lucid dreaming if you want to try it, but this is not what this video is about. This video is about taking the same methodology and applying it to your physical life so that you can ensure that you are not inside the dream narrative of the physical world. You don't buy into the circumstances, basically, and you create what you want. You manifest consciously using the law of assumption what you want without constantly falling asleep and believing that the circumstances matter, that they have power over you when they actually don't. Here's what you need to do. I want you to choose an action that you do several times during the day. And just like when you are training yourself for lucid dreaming, I want you to stop whenever you take that action and tell yourself, this reality is just an illusion. I'm aware of it now. I am awake, and I have full control of what I'm imagining, what I'm thinking, and what story I'm telling myself, or some version of this. And I don't want you to just mechanically say it. I want you to literally stop your train of thought, stop whatever has been going on in your mind up until that moment, and pause in your mind and think that. Look around you and realize that whatever is happening right now, this is something that you created. It's a dream narrative. If you like it, you can allow it to keep running. If you don't have to accept it and you don't have to struggle to change it. You just have to change your thoughts at that very moment and decide how reality is going to be from now on. So let's say that you chose walking through doorways as your trigger to do this reality check. You come home from work, you're tired, you're stressed about tomorrow, you unlock your door, you walk into your house, and this is the action that triggers it. So you stop and you remind yourself, this whole reality, it is just an illusion. It's like a dream. I have all the power here. I'm awake now. I am aware of where I am, what I'm doing, what my thoughts are. Do I like those thoughts? No, they're stressed out thoughts. I can change them. Actually, I'm not stressed about work at all. Work always flows effortlessly. That's my new narrative because I have all the power. I control the narrative. And you just go on with your day. Next time you walk through a doorway, you do the same thing. I want you to do this every time you take that action that you chose. And additionally, I want you to remember to do this whenever something triggers you, whenever you have any negative emotion, whenever you compare yourself to anybody else and you feel inadequate. Whenever you see somebody get what you want and it makes you feel bad because your manifestation hasn't happened yet. I want you to remember to do the same thing. Now, after the first week, I don't want you to keep doing it every time you walk through a doorway. And there's a reason I only want you to do it whenever something triggers you. The first period where you do it every time you walk through a doorway or every time you touch a light switch, for example, is so that you can remember to do this several times a day. But here's the thing, you don't want to always be in a state where you realize that this whole of reality is a dream, is fake, is an illusion, because that takes the joy out of life. So think about when you're playing a video game or when you're watching a movie. You know that it isn't real. You know that it's just a game or just a movie. But unless you actually really get into it, you don't enjoy it as much. That's why, for example, when watching a movie, most people turn off the lights. It's because that helps you get sucked into that reality of the movie. It feels more real and you enjoy it more. So you don't want to be in a constant state during your everyday life where you think about how this is an illusion because it doesn't allow you to enjoy life as much. But what you need to train yourself to do is to metaphorically wake yourself up from the illusion whenever you need it. And when you need it is when you're having thoughts that are not in alignment with what you want to manifest, when you're not living from the end, when something triggers you, when you catch yourself contemplating old trauma, something bad that happened in the past and making you feel bad or like you cannot have what you want. Those are the moments when you need to become awake and realize that this is a dream so that all those things can fall away instead of you thinking that you need to do something about them or that it can make your manifestation hard or whatever problem they're causing. Here's the thing though, if you get into the habit of doing this process, you can get instant results in many cases. I've had people come and tell me stuff that directly went against what I was manifesting. Like it was absolute proof that the opposite of what I'm manifesting is happening, even though I had been imagining for 3 weeks, for example. And I used that process while they were talking. I didn't even revise what they were saying. I just told myself, hey, why are you reacting? This is a dream. It doesn't mean anything. You're aware that it's a dream. Whatever is happening right now is fake. You don't have to feel anything about it. And while I was thinking that, the person just froze mid-sentence and was like, hey, why am I saying this? This was not what actually happened. I don't know what got into me and I started telling that story because that's not what actually happened. And then they went on to describe something that was very much in line with what I wanted already manifesting. Or another time when I used this, I needed somebody to lend me something. And this was a person that didn't like giving their things to other people because he thought that people will not bring his stuff back. So I went up to this person, and that was somebody I barely knew. So I went up to them and said, hey, could I borrow this, please? I will bring it back to you tomorrow. And he was like, I'm sorry, but I don't actually lend my stuff to anybody, not my closest friends, not my family members. So of course I'm not gonna lend you anything. I barely know you. And I just told myself, hey, this doesn't mean anything. This is a dream. I'm awake now. I control the narrative. And I told the person very casually, yeah, but you're gonna lend it to me, right? And he just froze and had this blank look for a couple of seconds. And he was like, you know what? I actually am going to lend that to you. Here. And he just gave me the thing that I wanted to borrow. And everybody was staring like, what just happened? This person never ever lends anything to anybody. But he did it because I was lucid and I control the narrative. Try this and let me know your results in the comments. And if you haven't already, then subscribe and hit the bell icon because I put out new videos every Sunday to help you manifest an amazing life.